Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another Leonardo pen here to review today. This is another pen that I recently purchased at the London UK Fountain Pen Show in October 2018. And if you've been watching a lot of my videos and my previous Leonardo videos, I had mentioned that there would be at least another Leonardo pen, if not more, that I would be looking to pick up. And there are a number of pens that I really do like the look of, but this is one of them. And I purchased this from Stefano at Cedargraph Corsani at the show. So let me unbox this. So you can see here there is a catalogue. So here you can see in the brochure there's a number of pens here. You have the Blue Abyss, which is a celluloid pen. You have the Mediterraneo, or Mediterranean, which again is celluloid, and that's this pen. You have an Ebonite Rosewood. And then you have the Rosso. And then the Profondo. And then a Moroni. So these are actually quite a few nice pens in terms of looks. You also get this made in Italy pocket here, and on the other side it says here gold nib, 14 karat, and you get a little bit of the off-cuttings or shavings of the pen, which I always think is a nice touch, just to be able to see what it looked like. And then you have the pen. Now it comes in this two pen sort of case pocket here. Now, for me, unfortunately, you cannot remove this. It is glued in. I like these old-style OMAS versions, where you would flip them over, and there would be one pen slot on one side, and then two pen slots on the other. And it also comes as well with this leather sleeve, which is quite nice. So you can actually put your pen in. Let me just. It is a little bit of a tight fit, but there you go. You can actually put your pen in there. And it's branded with the Leonardo logo and then Leonardo there on the bottom. And the other side is blank. So for me, I wanted to pick up. There were a number of Leonardos at the show. There was the new Hawaii, which is a resin or acrylic, which I really like the look of, and it contrasts with a number of different blue ocean with like yellow sand effects. But then there was this one, and this was a celluloid. It's got a 14 karat gold nib on it, and I think you can see why, because if I try to rotate the pen here, you'll see that material, it's almost like waves, ocean waves. It's a beautiful material here. So this is a limited edition. The limited editions come in a 100 pen run, and this is 2018, and it's number 4 of 100. Now this is a piston filling pen, and I'll show you here the cap finial comes off at a little bit of a point. You have a typical OMAS style like roller clip. Many of the Italian pens have these. Armando Simoni Club, Delta have all had these style clips. And then you have 3 very narrow cap bands. And then you also have another band here, but it's not actually on the cap. I'll show you if I unscrew it here. That's on the body. And then the body tapers down slightly. You have another band here, and then you have the piston filling knob. And then if I show you here, that's the engraving of the limited edition number on the pen. But as you can see, this pen really is a gorgeous finish. And you can see why I actually liked the look of this pen. Now, I do have 2 more Leonardo pens, and I'll show you these here now. So these are the resin versions, and the top one is the horn. The middle one here Again, resin is the Positano blue, and then you have this celluloid version, which is the Mediterraneo. And you can see that it's a slightly different size. I originally thought all of these were exactly the same size pens, but it is slightly longer. Um, but in terms of overall size, maybe the girth is a little bit wider as well in diameter. But I do like this pen. I love it a lot. So if I unscrew, you'll see here, you don't get an ink window on these pens. It comes with a lovely 14 karat gold Bock nib, and it is a lovely nib to write with. It has an ebonite feed, whereas the resin versions come. You can get them in a steel or gold nib. The steel nibs come with a plastic feed. The section is a little short. I find that on these pens. The threads are very soft. I don't find the threads to be a problem whatsoever. I do find my thumb just touching this slight step down here where that body ring is. But again, it doesn't bother me. I think the overall length of this pen, I think, is actually quite good. You can cap the pen or post the pen as well, but it then becomes a little bit too long. And I'm not a cap poster. As you can see, this material really is a lovely material. I do like this. I'd love to see this in other colours. I'd love to see this like in a more of like a green, like maybe a dark green and a like a jade colour green or pastel green. I'm sure there are other colours out there as well with this material, but it is a really, really lovely pen. So I'm really glad that I was able to pick this up from Stefano at Stilograph Corsani at the pen show, and he did me a really good deal on this. So I'm really glad that I was able to pick this pen up, and I've been writing with it a lot. So I think let's do some size and weight checks here. So in terms of the full length, we're looking at about 140 millimeters, maybe 141, and then the cap is about 64 to 65 millimeters, and then the body to the tip of the tines, we're looking at about 128 millimeters. So in terms of comparing it with another pen, let's say check with a Pelikan M800, I should say. If these do not roll away, let's try and keep these there. So you can see there that the nib's slightly longer than the Pelikan M800, but the body is pretty much identical in every aspect. So for me, it's a good sized pen. It's not quite what I would say is oversized territory. I think let's do a weight check. So the overall weight of the pen, we're looking at 25 grams inked up. The cap, just under 9 grams. So that cap is very light. And then the pen itself is just over 16 grams fully inked. So that is a very light pen in my mind. But it's a gorgeous pen. And it's a pen that I find I can actually write with quite well and for long periods of time. So it is a pen that I really do like. I'm really glad that I added it to my collection. I think let's do a writing sample now. So this is the Leonardo. It's a Memento Zero. And then I was just trying to think what the actual name. It's a Mediterraneo. And it is a medium nib, and it is a 14 karat gold nib. Now, the ink I have in here today is a lovely light blue, and it's Robert Oster, and it's Australian Sky, or Sky Blue. Uh, in terms of line width, it's a 14 karat gold nib. Some nibs are very soft, some nibs are very hard. So I think in terms of normal line variation, this is what you're going to get. Now you can push it a little bit more, get slightly more line variation out of it, but not a huge amount. Like, you could see a little bit more here in these figure of eights. But it's, even though it's a 14 karat gold nib, I would say it's more on the firmer side than some 14 karat gold nibs that you can get. Now this is a Bock nib, and Bock tend to be quite firm on their 14 karat nibs. Now in terms of wetness here, you can see it's not an overly wet nib, but it does actually create, I love the ink, it actually does quite a bit of shading. So like, for me, I do like this. Like, normally I prefer my nibs to be more wetter, to at least what I would consider fire hose, to about here. But for this, I find it writes extremely well, and I do love how it writes. So for me, I probably won't be changing how this writes. I will probably leave it as it is. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous writing pen. I love the material. I love the nib. I love that it's a piston filler. I love everything about it. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.